Can you smell what the flock is cooking? Flock up or flock off. Not you stick around because it's about to go down. You know, Flock with the most energetic entity in the Eagleverse here on a Thursday. And what we got for our Flock Docs today? What else? Hurts, of course, on a Thursday. It's been a long time since I've been here for one of these, man. But I felt the need to step in on one of these Thursdays, especially on the eve of first preseason game of the season. First preseason game of the season. What the Flock is we talking about? But we're going to get into that. A little bit of Jalen Hurts. A little bit of BS, you know what I'm saying? Nick Foles, what? Gonna get into around the league because we got some football coming on tonight. So we're gonna step outside the nest, maybe just a little bit. I don't know. Britton Covey, is you kidding me? Gotta get into I'm the president of the Britton Covey fan club. So we're definitely gonna get into some Britton Covey. What else we got? We got some bums, man. I feel like doing a favor to the haters real. But you know what I mean? We're not quite there yet. They're not even worthy of it because it seems like it'd be the same people I'm talking about. But anyway, enough of that, man. Before we get into the whole shebang, the Alex is saying, let's get the nest keeping out of the way. Let's keep the maniac thing. Please like and subscribe. If you're about that fly, Eagles fly. Drop a comment in that box if you're flying with the flock. Even if you're not, do remember, join that maniac thing. Know the game. You hit that bell. You get a bang whenever I'm on this YouTube thing. Let's flock and go. But while that's the maniac thing, we can't forget about the main thing, man. Let's keep the main thing. Hope this video finds you good vibes. Fly, Eagle, fly skies. If you're not there, I hope this helps you get there because we about to go there. Oh, yeah. And it's going to, you know what, the vibes is going to be low for a second, man, because these people got me, you know not. Let's get some of the good stuff out of the way, man. Nick Foles retiring as a Flockin' Eagle. Let's flock and go. The man who brought us a Super Bowl championship ring trophy and all of that. What, the MVP of that game? Nick Foles was in the dude, he ain't even retired. He's already in the Hall of Fame. You know why? Because they got his shoes, they got his helmet, they got his sneakers, they got his jerk, they got all of that, right? Because he threw for 7 touchdowns in a game. I mean, that season in and of itself should be like, it's got to be one of the greatest ever, bro. I believe the man threw 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. It's wild. Nick, Philadelphia Foles, man. Let's flock and go, man. He's going to be retiring as an Eagle. He'll be here. He'll be in Philly, actually. The game against Atlanta, game 2, the 3rd season in a row. We're playing, damn it, Kirk Cousins in a home opener. But see, that Nick Foles aspect of it, man, kind of makes me want to get there. But I know those tickets are probably flying through the roof right now, especially after the announcement. I wasn't thinking, just stretch out of physical therapy. Like, I'm like, wait, what? Nick Foles, what's going on? I see him with the Eagles. Like, what? We got to pack up. But now, Nick Foles is retiring as an Eagle, man. That's some of the good stuff we're going to get out of the way here on a Thursday. Well, on a Thursday, you know what? Before getting into all the BS, man, we're going to really talk about our boy Hurts and how underrated he actually is, dude. I saw this came across my Eagle Dart the other day, man. We're talking about Jalen Hurts over the last 2 seasons. He's out here kicking Burrow and Jackson's asses, bro. If we're talking touchdowns, he's got 73 to Burrow's 55 and Jackson's 49, right? If we're talking about yards, he got 89-24 to Burrow's 71-29 to Jackson's 75-05. What are we talking about here? If we're talking about completion percentage, we're talking about 65.9 for Hurts, 67.8 for Burrow. He got that one. Jackson with a 65-1. And if we're talking about games played, we're talking about 32 for our boy Hurts, 26 for Burrow, and 28 for Jackson. Like, what is we really talking about here, man? They just keep piling on our guy, pushing him down bottom like he's down bad, and he's really quite honestly, one of the best talents in the whole NFL. That was according to, who pulled this one up? This was ML Football. You know what? I really need to stop vetting some of these things I'll be picking up because I definitely see something. I look at the world through eagle-colored glasses. Y'all know that. Second, I see something eagle-related, especially if it's in positive, I'm hop all over that, Paul. But you know what I mean? Like, this is my guy. This is my fucking quarterback, man. What is we talking about? And not just that, man. Hurts is over here setting training camp records. Like, what? Like, really? What the flock is that? I don't know, man. ESP be wildin'. But, I mean, you know, he set a camp record, I guess, as far as completions without interceptions. Just suffice to say that he's out here dealing that damn thing. He's dropping dimes. He's letting them know what's on his mind, what was. And speaking of what was on his mind, I don't know. Shit, I'm wanting to avoid this, man. It's so hard because, I mean, like, breaking news from 6 months ago, Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni were not happy with one another. No, you know, more so, really, they weren't happy with losing 6 out of the last 7 games of the damn season. If I see, say for instance, I'm running a company, me and my partners, we're losing money, right? Over a 2-month span, we're losing money. We're going to be upset with each other. Things ain't going to be as smooth. It ain't going to be all sunshine and rainbows, bro. Skittles and ponies. It's not, no, none of that, dogs. I don't want to, like, get the flock away from me for a second. We got to figure this out. You go over there, do your thing. I'm going to do my thing over here. We're going to figure some stuff out. Might get rid of a few people here and there. Who knows? You know what I mean? But we're not getting rid of flocking everybody. What do we like? What do we? This guy Chris Canty hops on today, man. Has the nerve to utter out of his mouth, mind you, former Cowboy, former Giant, has the nerve to let the words come out of his mouth in the guise of, to the proposition that the Eagles organization is dysfunctional. Allow me to repeat, you did hear that correctly. A former member of the Giants and the Cowboys has the nerve to call the Eagles dysfunctional. How, what way, what universe are we on where a team makes it to the playoffs 3 years in a row, not to mention 2 Super Bowl appearances in the last 8 years, is dysfunctional, mind you. One of his teams, that team, the Cowboys, haven't sniffed the Super Bowl in about 30 years, right? So we got that to contend with, right? And then we've got the Giants. I believe it's hard to make the playoffs in this league. I believe they've made the playoffs all of 3 times in the last 12 years. We've done it 3 times in the last 3 years. What are we talking about? But you have the nerve to point your fingers in this direction and look at this team and say, the Eagles are dysfunctional because they were upset with losing. Something that your team seemed to be content with. I don't know. Call me crazy. The Bears, he hasn't been on the Bears, but I just saw this stat come across the board. The Bears have made the playoffs all of 3 times in 17 years. This is hard to do. My coach does that consistently, gets his team there consistently, keeps asking that question. I don't know what it is Nick Sirianni does. What does he master? Bro, it's a whole game, bro. It's not just offensive side of the ball, defensive side of the ball. You got special teams to contend with you. Not to mention situational football. Not to mention what to do when the time is low and timeouts and all that. An issue that got me going, man. That the Cowboys seem to have a problem with. I don't even think the Giants even make it to the end of the game some of the time, so we ain't even gonna get into that. But I mean, like, what is we really talking about? I get it. You know, they had a piece. Dude probably did hella work on it. And then, you know, the other day you see Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts riding around in the cart. Like, they was probably waiting to save it for some time later in the season when dysfunction may appear. Like, you know, when hardship may appear, adversity, whatever the case may be. But they see the dudes riding around in the golf cart, Dom and Sirianni and the homeboy Jalen, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? And what the fuck is we talking about? Because now it's like, damn, okay, everything looks to be dope over there. Things are looking good. This guy's going crazy in camp. We can't really say nothing about that. Coach seems to be in control of things. He's mastering the elements of situational football. Something that if Belichick, and I'm not comparing Sirianni to Belichick, you know what I'm saying? We ain't going to go that far. But I'm just saying, though, if it was him talking about situational football, it's the wildest, greatest thing since the real situational football. And these players are saying that Nick Sirianni does more with that than any other coach they've ever seen. Not to say that they've ever been under the tutelage of a Belichick or anything, but they just say he's maniacal. You see what I did there? But he's crazy when it comes to that, like, when it comes to situational football. There are things more entailed than just one side of the ball, 2 sides of the ball, 3 sides of the base. A whole full encompassing game that we have to contend with here that this man seems to be in control of over the last 3 years. I could understand being upset last year. People mad at each other, you know what I mean? Who's going to be happy losing 6 of the last 7 games? If they was coming to work happy, I'd be upset. You'd be upset. And there they go. They got me again. They got me again. 3 dysfunctional, bro. Dysfunctional is freaking crazy. And Colin Cowherd, he chimed in. I'll call him, that's my boy. Like, not to mention, like, I like both of these dudes, Colin Cowherd, Chris Canty, outside of whenever they're talking about the Eagles. Like, I'm flocking with them the whole, with, like, good stuff. They put some good stuff out there. They sound sensible. But when it comes to this, like, I just think, I guess perhaps maybe Canty's relationship, because you know what? But our former Eagles have no qualms about saying, like, when it comes to Quentin Michael, Jason Avant, even Brandon Graham, former kicker, was that Akers or Fegels? I forget who announced the draft pick. We have no qualms with admitting the fact that we hate the Cowboys. Can't stand the Giants. Flock out of here with the Commanders. Like, you know, and that's the way it's supposed to be. It's just when you're trying to put it in the guise of facts and all actuality, just like our boy Jalen Hurts is going to say he's spitting out a word salad, man. You got to understand the words. Perhaps maybe you can. I don't know what's going on. Something is blocked between your ears. Maybe it's the stars around that you had around your head for them years. I don't know. Regardless of whom or what, we're dealing in. We said you got rumors, you got innuendo, you have reality. And what Jalen Hurts said is we're dealing in reality. What are we really talking about? Chris Collins, I can't even like this guy's name. Colin Cowherd went so far as to say that You know, you look at functional organizations like, or, you know, coaches in their first press conference. Sometimes, I mean, and I get it. Sometimes I get hung up on certain things too, and I make that the basis of all of my assessments, right? And, you know, I'm willing to admit it when I do that, whatever the case may be. He seems to have a hang up. He used to have a hang up over hats to the back, and he would always go at Matt Stafford for that. Then Matt Stafford wins a Super Bowl, so now he's the exception to the rule with wearing your hat backwards. Whatever the case may be. So this other one that he's hung up now is press conferences. Guys open press conferences. When you see McVay come on his first press conference, he's the man. You see D'Amico Ryans, he comes on, he's in control, he's the man. Dan Campbell, he came through, he had a plan. Biting kneecaps. Biting kneecaps. Let this team look like dogs. And then the crazy part is that we're acting as if this man hasn't made the playoffs play years in a row. Hasn't made the playoffs 3 years in a row. D'Amico Ryans has done it once, and he did the same thing Nick Sirianni did the first time he went into his first playoffs. He lost, got smacked up, yacked up, get the flock up out of here. But, you know, they're the shiny new toy everyone's on, just like they used to be on us, so I get it, you know what I mean? So this is just a position we got to play right now. I'm not upset. Cool. This is, you know, if we ain't got no haters, we ain't popping. We already know that's the rules. That's the rules. And, you know, and then the funniest one, to get back to Chris Candy, man. The best determinant of future outcomes is past performance. He's talking about one season, yo. He's talking about a season in which, need I remind you, made the playoffs. And then the season before that, we were in the Super Bowl. I mean, what are we talking about? So I guess we could plan on making it to the playoffs again, right? Perhaps maybe another run if, you know, every other year is his thing, perhaps. I don't know. Lose to Tampa Bay, next year go to the Super Bowl. If we're going off of, you know, so you can't be talking out of both sides of your mouth when you're using the past as a predictor of the future. Like, what the past is prequel to the future. Then we're going to the Super Bowl again? Perhaps that sounds we win it. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. It makes no sense when you're going to use that as your, it's just wild to me, man. But, yeah, enough. We outside of Thursday, Hurts Day. You know what I mean? Give it up for a boy. We're about to take the field tomorrow night. The whack thing is that I don't believe that we're going to be playing. If we were playing, I mean, actually, we've heard inklings of the fact that we may actually play starters. You know, this is new. You know, we got longer practices. Guys are more physical in the practices now. And then we're talking about playing starters in the preseason. We're trying to switch this thing up from, you know, get all that bad taste out of our mouth from last season and switch things up, shake up the room a little bit. But now we're hearing that it's supposed to be rain. I can't imagine us. I wouldn't, you know, I would love to see my guys get out there and play, but I wouldn't risk any injuries in the rain. But I mean, then, you know, you got to think about other guys too. It feels crazy when you say things like that. Like, I don't want these guys to play, but these guys can play. But then we could get film on certain guys. I don't know. Not to mention, I believe it's going to be a thunderstorm. So, I mean, that thing could be kiboshed altogether. And being that it's a preseason game, I can't see them rescheduling that, remaking that up. However, I am really, really looking forward to it. An event we do, that would be awesome. I can't wait. Ready to get on here, get crazy, get some yak with the maniac and all that. Look, we're going to play some songs. What? We could do it on pre-games and all. What? It hasn't really quite dawned on me yet because I've been seeing all this BS, like breaking news from 6 months ago. Like yesterday on ESPN, it was flocking crazy. It was as if, no, that's a bit too far. I was about to say something wild. But it was like, they crossed the board, air to air, noon to midnight. They were covering Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts, and it's just wild to me. And it's like, you don't really get anyone that has levity. There was even a freaking Eagles fan on that morning show they got. What is Unsportsman like? An Eagles fan, and he was like, I don't like it. I was like, bro, what's up with this dude? Like, are you serious? Are you seeing what's going on? Everything looks, your eyes are telling you that everything's good. But you know the rules, man. Believe half of what you see, none of what you hear, man. Like, this is just crazy that people are still grasping onto this. ESPN putting out a PSA. It's fucking hilarious, dude. This is wild. You got the camp record, and after careful consideration of the Covey conundrum, I've come to the conclusion that Johnny Wilson offers countless red zone conflicts for the opposition to ascertain. And I mean, as much as, I mean, it's all about the betterment. I may be the president of the Brenton Covey fan club, the PBCFC, you know, but at the end, it all starts with the Eagle Maniac. And if it makes our Eagles better, man, I'm all for it. Not to mention, I hear Covey still out there. He's making plays, he's shining. And I can't say that I would be against WR3 by committee situation. Like, let's do this thing, switch it up, throw different looks at the defense, like what seems like what we're trying to do over there with our defense. throwing up all kinds of things. Like, it's just it's wild. It's a great problem to have, especially if they're both out here balling out. Johnny Wilson is out here looking like he's the man. I believe allegedly he had his first drop the other day in camp. Covey came down with an amazing pass against who's that dude? McCullum. Yeah. He goes up, gets smacked, gets back up, and he's out. And he was like, dude, you were down. But you know, Covey, man, he's nonstop. And the Bunny over there, like, going crazy. So, big shout out to the Mormon Missile. Big up to Johnny Wilson. And I hope we can bring this thing together and all for the betterment of the Philadelphia Flockin' Eagles. One man that seems like he's fully vested into making the Eagles the best that they can be is this dude, Devin White. I'm going to try and put it down in the comments if I remember, down in the description, whatever. You've got Devin White on the Pivot podcast. And like just him hearing his energy, the way he's talking, the way him and how we came together, you really got to check it out. Seems like this guy really wants to be here. More than anything being here, he just wants to come out here and show to the, not so much show to the world because he said he really got nothing to prove to nobody out there. He know what he can do. He just wants to reaffirm what he already knows to himself and go out here and ball out. He's like, the Eagles haven't had a top linebacker like me in like forever. And he said nothing against any of the other guys that we've had. All these guys are good, but he's different. And when you look at it across the board, the things that he done, when he puts into perspective the things that he done, sometimes, and I know I just sometimes, like we all do, just uttering off all these numbers and these stats when there's actually context to go with them and all that. But like I said, if I see something when it's a positive thing for our Eagles, I'm gonna pump that thing all the way up. However, you know, when you look at some of Devin White's numbers and he gives explanations, not excuses, to why he may have performed the way he performed, why the numbers might not look quite the way they were supposed to look last season, you go, oh, snap, all right, I get it, my guy. That makes sense. You were going through this, that was going through that. They had that guy. Seems to be a great teammate. He says the guys from Tampa Bay is always setting him up like, what's up? We miss you. So there's no bad teammate. There's none of that. And he just said with Eagles, he said that one of the reasons he chose the Eagles, how he hits him up, you know, he's like, it seemed like they had a really sincere, Nixon Sirianni comments, no, a very sincere conversation about, you know, how he's saying that he had been there once in his life, and this is where Devin White's at now. And, you just got to come out here and show to the world sometimes. You got to pop out and show, you feel me? So that's what Devin White is planning on doing. Not to mention, he saw the framework, he saw some of the inner guts, if you will, of the Eagles defense and the guys that we have here, speaking of Sweat and the Carter and the Davises and Grahams and the Nolan Smith and all the guys on the defense. And then, Shannon Crowder had to make him remember, not to mention, you got some dogs back there in the backfield too, right? Just, there's a lot of pieces around here. So even if he's not here for the long run, he knows that he could come here and make something of himself and look good while doing it, when you have the good, right pieces around you. Not to mention, he said, he sees that Howie said, look at, because, he said, there was a few contract things down there in Tampa Bay. So then up here, he's looking around and he sees that, how he takes care of his guys. I don't know if he noticed he doesn't quite really take care of linebackers, but, how he called him up and was 100 with him. So, figure give this thing a shot. Bet on himself for this year and see where the chips may fall. Hopefully a lot of chips falls into his pocket. And if he balls out, hopefully it's here. But we don't want to go that far. But just hopefully he's here. He's going to ball the flock out. He said, you look at somebody like Devontae Smith, who never made a Pro Bowl, never made All-Pro, this, that, and the third. And look, how we still went and paid that man. So he's like, yeah, this organization looks like they take care of their people. And just it was a very dope inside look to Devin White's in the works as well as how his mind works, man. I'm just happy that he's with us now, bro. Because it sounds like he really wants to ball out, go crazy over here. And I'm like, yeah. And that's all we got for today, man. Just had to get that off my nest, get that off my chest for this quick therapy session because, as you can tell, it's driving me a little bit crazy. But yeah, outside the nest, as far as that goes, I don't think any of these teams are playing their starters over these few days. I believe they really saved that for the second and third preseason games. I don't know. But hey, you know what I'm here for? I can't wait to see some football tomorrow. I know you can't either, so let's flock it. Go. You already know. Till the next time, make it your best time. In the meantime, between time, keep it a green time. You already know how I like to do around this time, about this time, at this time, man. Got questions? It's always Eagles o'clock around here. You know that, man. What are we talking about? What you gonna do when Eagle Mania swoops down? It runs wow on you. Say it with me one time. E-A-G-L-E-S. Eagles. Oh, yeah, Afasados. That means go birds in Brazilian Portuguese. We're going to be there in a few weeks. I think we got like 29, 28 days. 4 weeks. Woo! Let's fucking go. Yeah, man. That's what Noah Lyles. Something about COVID. That's trash, bro. What's going on with that, man? Yeah, we need these gold medals too, man. USA. Let's fucking go and let's get the flock up out of here. Peace.